We're gonna talk suspension today. So we got a few cars we brought in, just random stuff. We got 3 cars brought in here. We got a YXZ from Yamaha. It's set up more desert race, got a long travel suspension, big King shocks. Definitely built to jump. And then we've got a, I would say pretty factory Can-Am. It's been set up pretty soft for the sand. The guy probably never leaves the ground once in a while. And then we've got a 21 Turbo S, which is always the shop favorite. And it just had the dynamic shocks rebuilt, the Foxes rebuilt. It's just got a brand new set of eye-box on it, all set up. More of a customer is gonna rock crawl, and obviously he's got 32s on it now, but tire's gonna get changed out when he hits Moab and does some nice rocks, you know, nice rock and trail machine. Right now we're looking at this is a 2020 YXZ. It's definitely set up to run the desert. The guy probably spends way more time in the air than he does on the ground, and it was built to do just that. Most people, you know, when they look at a YXZ, it's go fast. It's a great desert car. It's shiftable. This one's been turbocharged. It's had a lot of stuff done to it. Suspension-wise, it's got HCR long travel, which is always one of our favorites. And then the guy, you know, had King Customs put on, and with the long travel, so it's got longer than normal shocks. I think they're probably 5 inches longer than what should be there. But great drivability, handles the whoops like nobody's business, and it's designed so that the guy can run 100 miles an hour through the washes, hit every jump. I mean, literally 25, 30 feet is not something that you don't see. I mean, he's always in the air. He's always jumping this car, and it takes it and gives it back every time. I mean, it's really a great car for doing that. And it's the suspension factory. I don't know that it would take it, but it's definitely been built up to where it runs correctly. Big dual rate springs, bigger shocks. If you're gonna go that distance and you're looking for the ultimate ride, you definitely a shock upgrade, whether it's big Foxes, whether it's big Kings, whether it's, you know, there's a number of great shocks out there that do just that. But it's a matter of knowing what you want to do and what you're building your car to do. You've got big monster, like right here, you got big monster dual rate springs. When these are set up, the car was obviously weighed. All their geometry was figured out. It was all load calculated. And then when these shocks were ordered from King, they were probably spec'd out with the HCR by HCR. So the spring rates on this thing and the setup on this thing was probably already predetermined. We never messed with it. We didn't build this car. It's here for other things, and just kind of showcasing what has been done to this car. But it's got big monster remote reservoirs, so when these things get hot, you're running in the 115 degree Phoenix weather, and you've got these massive reservoirs that are going to help keep these shocks cool. You know, you're asking for a lot for this car to do, and you've put the best of the best on this car so that it will perform properly. And that's with anything. If you're gonna rock crawl, if you're gonna do sand, you know, the suspension is key. Everybody likes to say, oh, I can just take a stock machine and go out and beat the crap out of it. And it really doesn't work that way. I mean, you can go have fun, but don't expect, you know, something to perform and then last you through the weekend, and, you know, you pull a shock eye or you blow out a seal head, or, you know. One thing I'm surprised that this car doesn't have is limit straps, because this thing is such a big jumper. I know Kings are pretty tough, but I would say if it was my car and I spent as much time as this guy did in the air, I would probably put some kind of a limit strap on it, but I'm pretty sure it's working well. So this car was set up basically go fast sand dune car, low center of gravity. Obviously the tires that are on this thing are just to move it around when he gets to the sand dunes. He's always got paddles and front steer tires on it and everything. But as far as suspension, it was set up very, very soft. I mean, all the adjusters, all the rebound adjusters, everything. This car, I would think that doesn't leave the ground very often. It's more of a go fast, do the bowls, and it's a pretty quick car when it runs right. So, but all the suspension is basically stock. I would change the suspension, but the guy doesn't feel, his riding style doesn't really warrant putting big bucks into the suspension because he doesn't ever, it's just mostly leisure sand dune riding. But it's set up properly for his style of riding. It's still got factory shocks, or factory, I don't even think they've been rebuilt yet, but factory springs, they were set up. The nice thing about it is when you see, most of the time when we see Can-Ams come in here, they were never set up, they were never PDI'd correctly. I know Can-Am has a long laundry list when they do their PDI, and one of their deals is these are set when they ship them, so they're squashed down as tight as they can be. The springs are always set pretty darn high. So when they get to the dealership and then somebody's doing a PDI, you almost have to pull the shocks off, pull the springs off, and you've got to set the preload collars, you've got to set the crossover rings, you've got to set the adjusters according to Fox's specifications. When we see a lot of that never gets done, so the guy comes in here and he's like, hey, this thing's sitting on its butt. The suspension kind of really sucks, what do I do? And our first reply is, let's set it up correctly, let you drive it, and then we'll go from there. Because most of the time when you set it up, Fox builds a great shock. If it's set up properly, it works really well. Problem is that nobody wants to take the time to set it up. And it can take a few hours. I mean, I've been on a machine where we've taken the shocks off 2 or 3 times, get the ride height right. The springs may be sagging, and then the customer's like, you know what, screw this, just put a set of springs on it, set them up correctly, do what you would do to make this thing run right. It's time consuming to do it right. And as long as the suspension's set up right, it's a night and day difference as far as how you're gonna drive, how your passengers are gonna feel when they're driving it. You got somebody that's in the back and you got this machine that's bucking as you go down the trail. It's not very comfortable. And when the wife's in the passenger seat or the wife's driving, she's gonna be like, yeah, this ain't happening. So setting the suspension up is always, I think, the biggest priority. Because once that suspension's set up properly, you're enjoying the ride so much more. So here we have the tried and true 21 Turbo S. Like, this is by far, I think, a lot of guys' favorite machine. 72 inches, more than enough power. It's probably one of the most capable machines that are out there. The great thing about this machine is, this was a customer, I'm pretty sure he just picked this up, and he comes to us and he's like, Brent, I want you to make this like Spencer's machine. I eventually want to make it like your machine. I love your guys' machines. I love what you've done to them. I want to make this more user for me or whatever. So, and everybody's on a budget. We understand that. It'd be nice to be able to just drop 20, 30, 40 into it and just make it perfect. But, when you're looking at a machine, most machines are, hey, what can we do first? What can we do to make it, what can we give the most, what's the most bang for my buck, and make this machine start really handling and going the way we want it to. So on this, obviously, it has a few miles on it. And with Polaris, everybody knows Polaris is adamant about servicing your shocks at 1,000, 1,100 miles, replacing bushings at 1,000, 1,100 miles. And on this machine, it's no different. We started seeing the reservoir caps were starting to leak. And so we put new high volume reservoir caps, something we can service on a regular basis without having the rubber plugs in them and using a needle and all the bullshit. And they're just gonna leak no matter what we do. On this, he's like, hey, what can we do to make this start performing better? When it came in, it was sitting on its butt, had factory springs. And I'm like, well, let's do the shocks, let's do the springs, let's at least get that out of the way and upgrade it. You know, and being on a budget, it's like, hey, I would love to have HCR, and I would love to do a lot of things, but what can we do now? Your weak link had to start to have a little bit of play was the ball joints. You know, he's not going to run 35s yet, so it's a matter of we don't have to replace everything under the sun to make it strong enough to withstand 35s. So, you know, budget build, we went with shock therapy limit straps. I think their limit straps are amazing. They're great. They're 100% adjustable. You never have to worry about your straps stretching. You can always adjust them up. You can always make them looser, depending on what you want. Like I say, the high pressure reservoir caps, rebuilding them with quality seals and a viscosity of oil that will make this shock work better than it did. And then go through the front end. We did Keller ball joints. We did keep the factory arms. Went through the bushings were pretty tight, greasing everything up, which factory, it never did get greased. So got them all done, cleaned up. It's sitting a little high, but I know that this machine particularly will settle down just a little bit. So the ride quality is night and day, just in the suspension that we did. And now the customer can go out, he can enjoy it. He doesn't feel like he's hitting every rock on the trail because it was sitting so low. And then we can start upgrading as he starts either breaking stuff or he upgrades to a larger tire and go from there. You know, I think everybody when they ride, everybody talks suspension, everybody talks drivability, rideability. You know, you come up along that old guy that's been out there and diehard that's in that 10-year-old 900S or little 900 trail, and he's getting the shit kicked out of him. He's got 3 inches of travel. And, you know, you're coming by in one of these newer machines and you've got just an absolute ton of travel and your suspension set up and you got a smile from ear to ear. So don't ever, you know, when you're thinking about shocks, when you're thinking about suspension, there's a lot of basics to tuning suspension that can save you money, that everybody's out there, oh, you got to do this and you got to build this and you got to revalve this. If you really look at revalving, if you really look at changing your springs, there is a lot out there, and there's a lot of it that's smoke and mirrors. When you've been doing this as long as we've been doing it, I'm gonna tell you, if your shocks aren't leaking, they're probably blown internally. People don't even realize that. They look at their shocks and say, hey, my shocks have never leaked. You got a set of Walker Evans that's got 4,000 miles on them, and every single internal floating piston is blown. You wonder why when you go over rocks, it does this chunk, you know, and you can't figure it out. And you're like, well, they're not leaking. They must be fine. Well, you have your springs are destroyed, your internals are destroyed, and what people don't see is the inside of that shock that is being destroyed every time you take it out, and it gets worse and worse. So when you take it apart, you've got a seal head that's got a problem, you've got a piston that's got a problem, you've got, you know, shafts that have a problem. There's so much to suspension. But back to the what does it take to make it ride right? You know, get under there, turn your clickers out. Turn them to the softest point on there and see how it rides. Is your ride height so far out that you're literally scraping every rock that you run over? There is so many little things that cause the setup. You know, if you've got a brand new X3 and you're like, man, this thing rides like crap. Well, take it back to your dealer or have you and your buddy take the shocks apart. There's so much out there to set up your suspension that makes it work properly, that a little bit of tweaking can do you a whole lot of good. And then you can say, okay, I tweaked it and it's not satisfied. It's not where I want it. Okay, what do we need to do? Come in, sit down with Ryan, sit down with Matt, sit down with somebody, come back and find me. I have no problem telling people how it is, what it's gonna take, what it's gonna need. You know, I'm held up in my little room there and building whatever the heck I've got going on today. But everybody comes in, hey Brent, I've got this problem. What do you think? What do I need to do? Kurt Winters, yeah, prime example. comes by. I got this problem. What do you think? Well, this is what I would do. And sometimes it's not what you want to hear, but it's what needs to be done. And a lot of times, you know, like everything, it's like I used to have Mr. Tony. It's like peeling an onion. And when you take it apart, you don't know. You don't know that you've got an internal piston that's destroyed the body of the shock, and you won't know that until you take it apart. You know, the bodies, the springs, I mean, you've got something that's got 1,000 miles on it, you've got something that's got 10,000 miles on it. I mean, there's something that's been beat to shit, and there's something that's been babied. So there's no two cars out there that are ever the same, and depending on what you want to do and how you want to do it, is a matter of get in, let us know what's your prime trail ride. You only do, you know, you run to St. Anthony once a year, you go to Moab a couple times a year. Your big thing is you love to go to Syracuse a couple times a year, you know, whatever you want to do. You may be the guy that goes to Taylor Park all summer long, you know. We've got Rex. Rex is over there right now. He'll be a month. He rides every day for a month, and he loves it. And his machine is built according to what he wants and how he wants it, and it's set up exactly the way he wants it to be set up. And that's the individual part of owning a side-by-side. You can take a side-by-side fresh off the showroom floor, and you make it your own. You make it whether it's softer, harder, faster, slower, whatever. Whether it's a gear reduction, whether it's soft shocks, there's so many things that you can do, but you have to take that, you know, it doesn't just happen by itself. And yes, it takes time, it takes energy, it takes parts, it takes getting together with your service guy and saying, I have no idea, but this is what I feel, and this is what I think it should do, or this is what my wife wants. So it's a matter of taking the time, setting it up, putting in the time to set it up, and making it right. And if you have any questions, give us a call. Talk to Ryan. He's the best source of knowledge. Matt, best source of knowledge. You know, what can I do? And get your machine down and figure it out. We're here to help you. We're here to take care of you.